Hello, my lovelies. Good to see you. Good to be with you again. I feel like I haven't been here live in a long time, and that might be true, right? Because I've been in mad preparation mode for my Sync Your Soul weekend, and that was this past weekend, and it was a wild success. Everyone had shifts. Several of the ladies decided to enroll in the ongoing Sync Your Soul program, so I'm still riding pretty high from that, and something really exciting came up during that weekend. I think it was on Sunday. I was telling a story to the group, and in recent weeks, when contemplating this principle, I realized that I'm now living the life I was dreaming about 10 years ago. And then 10 years ago is way too long. I wasn't dreaming about this life 10 years ago, this lifestyle. But 5 years ago, I certainly was. So I had that realization in recent weeks. And then we were setting intentions and about to do some goal setting with the group. And in preparation for that lesson, I got my binder out, my manual out from a training that I had done that was similar to my Sync Your Soul weekend, a training that I actually modeled my Sync Your Soul weekend after. And at the beginning of that manual, there were intentions and goals that I had set out, and it was dated. It was a few years ago, and I realized that I had realized I said that twice. I realized that I had actually manifested, accomplished a few of those goals and intentions, and my mind was blown. And I'm not sure why my mind was blown, but I was like, oh my goodness, I actually did the things I set out to do. This process works. And I know this process works. That's why I teach it. But it was so awesome to see it in black and white, right? In the handwriting, dated, the dates that I had set. I think it was dated October 2018 or 2019. I know it was October. So much has changed since then. And it reminded me of the lesson that, progress equals happiness, right? And that it's important to look back so we can see that we're not where we used to be anymore, that we're not where we're going, we're not where we want to be yet, but we're not where we used to be. And it's important to look back in order to do that, to reflect on the past in order to do that. And I know, a lot of memes and a lot of spiritual teachers and personal development teachers will tell you, don't look back, you're not driving that way, right? There's no need to look in the rearview mirror. And I disagree. There is, right? Like, we don't want to get stuck in the past, which is what my Sync Your Soul weekend can help you do, is get out of that stuckness if you are stuck in the past or in a past story. And it's important to look back and say, oh my goodness, I've reached these goals. I've made significant progress. I'm well on my way to the next thing, because the unconscious mind, the human mind, is always going to want more. It's always going to want the next thing. And that's cool. And it's important that we see where we've been and we acknowledge how much we've accomplished, the progress that we've made. And, and then it came up again last night. I was in a meeting with a client, and she was discouraged about not being where she wanted to be yet, not having met the goals that she wanted to meet yet. And I don't want to share her story because I don't have her permission. But what comes to mind is like a weight loss goal, right? Like, I have a friend who's lost like 100 pounds or something. Like, that's huge. And, sometimes she gets discouraged because, she's still on the weight loss journey, and she hasn't reached her ideal weight yet. So, sometimes she gets discouraged when she falls off the wagon, and it's like, oh, I'm not there yet. And then she loses sight of the fact that, she's lost a person, right? And all the progress that she's made. And again, right, so I just want to remind you, right, the moral of this story is that it's important to look back right? It's important to look back so you can see how far you've come, okay? And if you're stuck back there, then that's where my Sync Your Soul program can help. And, you know, there's going to be a wait list for the next time. So remember to look back and recognize how far you've come, and remember that progress equals happiness. I love you.